And away we go. You guys, the brand new Epstein files just dropped and it's completely off the rails. Now let's just jump right into it. Starting with this, Bill Gates yet again is in the Epstein files, but this time Epstein mentions his wife in a very interesting situation. So Epstein tells Bill Gates, and I quote, "To add insult to injury, you then implore me to please delete the emails regarding your STD. Your request, I provide you antibiotics that you can surreptitiously give to Melinda and the description of your penis." Bro, what? So not only Bill Gates caught something, but then gave it to his wife. Real stand-up guy. Isn't it funny? That same year, in 2013, Bill Gates offers a challenge for $100K to whomever can make the next generation condom. Completely makes sense now. Now, Bill Gates must have been really pissed off because that same year, Epstein gets kicked off of Xbox. Now, who owns Xbox? Microsoft. Now, moving along to the old school TV star Robin Leach, who hosted the show Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, who they said unalived a young girl at a party. The files say the complainant claims to have a video of a high-profile sex party dealing with cartels and having witnessed Robin Leach strangle a young girl to death at a party. What is going on? Then we have this picture of Prince Andrew, who, mind you, lost his royal status and got completely exiled. Shows a young female whose face is redacted and only God knows what and where this is taking place. Oh, it gets even worse for Andrew though, because they said back in the 90s, Maxwell recruited a girl for her modeling career, and instead of modeling, she was sold as a slave for sex and torture. The victim's statement says that Prince Andrew was an accessory to her death as he tortured her and made the victim forced to murder her. Then we have Rachel Chandler, aka the child handler. Now, you may or may not have heard of her because she's been under wraps for a long time, but I know exactly who she is. Now, she was a casting agent who worked closely with Epstein and MC2 Models, which was owned by Jean-Luc Brunel, an accomplice of Epstein. Now, here she is credited in the Epstein files, and she's been seen on private jets with Epstein and Bill Clinton. And it's also to note that Jean-Luc Brunel, just like Epstein, unalived himself in his cell. But it doesn't stop there, because Jay-Z is in the Epstein files as well. Says here, approximately in 1996, some man abducted the victim and then she woke up to Jay-Z and Harvey Weinstein, where he inserts her fingers into you know what. Now, the victim states that all this went down in Epstein's mansion in Florida. Now, you guys, there's a whole lot more. I'm going to do a part 2, but make sure you guys hit up my YouTube, The Maverick Approach, and let me know what you guys think about all this down below. The Epstein Files Part 2. This shit gets crazy, so let's get into it. Now, let's jump to the Donald Trump part, where the documents say this 13 or 14-year-old girl was allegedly assaulted, was forced to give oral to Donald Trump and bit him. Then she was assaulted by Jeffrey Epstein. Now, keep in mind that they released this document, then they deleted it. Weird. It's also important to note that this was on the document as well. The complainant was spoken to and was deemed not credible. Additional research shows 3 separate incidences involving police, which requested in mandatory psychiatric evaluations. Interesting. Then we move on to Hollywood director Brett Ratner, who was seen with Epstein with a couple of girls. Don't know their ages, but it's also important to note that in 2023, he fled to Israel. And we can't look over the fact that he just directed Melania's new movie that just came out. What kind of move is this? Then we have Jeffrey Epstein getting invited to Mar-a-Lago in 2012 after Christmas, which is way after their falling out with him and Trump. So again, a lot more questions than answers. Now, just a couple days ago, we had a massive crash pertaining to gold and silver. Now, what if I told you this is linked to the Epstein files? Now, this is the CEO of JP Morgan, Jamie Dimon. Yeah, the same guy who under oath said he didn't know Epstein at all. Who is, you guessed it, in the Epstein files as well. It says here in 2012, Jeffrey Epstein was planning a dinner meeting with Jamie Dimon himself. Now, why is this important? That's because JP Morgan is the world's largest holder of physical silver with over 750 million physical ounces. And remember, JP Morgan just a couple years ago paid almost $300 million to the Epstein victims themselves. It's all starting to make sense now, doesn't it? And it's gonna get wild across the board in the financial world, because don't know if you guys knew this, that Metropolitan Capital Bank has just failed, marking the first bank to fail in 2026. Buckle up. Then we have Ghislaine Maxwell's bank statements that says Captain Nautica's St. Thomas Boat Rentals. Now, why does this sound familiar? That's because it's the same name as this Disney cruise line, Captain Nautica's snorkeling adventure, which they had to stop in Little St. James, aka Epstein's Island. And here she is hosting something called Happy Family Disney Day back in 1985. And this picture just gives it away even more because the name of her company, Terramar, deals with sea exploration, submarines, and she had a submarine license. So there's that. Now there's a whole lot more I'm going to break down on my YouTube, The Maverick Approach, but let me know what you guys think about all this down below.
Hold up, y'all. Y'all ever ask yourself, why did they drop this whole Jeffrey Epstein situation on the 1st of February, the start of Black History Month? Y'all ever ask yourself that? In fact, scrolling through my whole timeline, all I'm seeing is Jeffrey Epstein stuff. I'm not seeing no Black History stuff. It's like, are y'all trying to erase us once again? Hold up. Did y'all know that the only women that he was not interested in was our women? Did y'all know that?
No black girls allowed on Epstein Island? Here's why. Jeff gave in at some point and told him, yes, I'll find some friends. Jeff wanted young, fresh girls, virgins. He told, don't bring me any N-words. Never ever brought any friends.
Do y'all think that's random? I don't believe in that, y'all. So they don't want that talked about during this very moment, during this month? And that's because we are waking up. This is supposed to be a winter month. It's hot as hell, y'all. But this month is really supposed to be about Black resilience, Black unity, Black intelligence. And what do? They drop a distraction right in front of us. Because I'm gonna really tell you what they're really afraid of. It's not violence, y'all. It's us uniting and coming together and creating a community. Why do you think what happened to Tulsa happened? This right here is one of the projects that actually has true purpose versus 90% of the projects that other people are investing into. We did not start this coin by accident. We didn't do this for clout, y'all. We did this for purpose. And now with over 5,000 holders who finally see the vision, we are about to go up. This is a celebration for us. So if you're tired of these distractions and tired of history repeating itself instead of making it, then this is your chance right now. It all starts with an investment. The contract address will be pinned in the comments below, y'all. This whole month, we are rising in numbers, y'all. This is our time to shine. Comment juice and I'll DM you the link to the free Telegram group. Let's catch this wave, y'all. Peace in.
Time travel. Candace Owens says Charlie Kirk could potentially be a time traveler, and I'm gonna go ahead and debunk the debunkers because I actually have receipts. Now, she shares these text messages where he says, I think I'm a time traveler, this is my home, I think you found me, etc. Sounds completely outrageous, right? But not so fast. Did you guys know there are several declassified CIA programs that deal with time travel, starting with this one called the Gateway Process, in which is a program where they use hemisync audio, aka frequencies, to synchronize the left hemisphere and the right hemisphere of your brain to alter consciousness. Now, it also says that reality is an egg-shaped hologram projected from an infinite absolute energy field beyond space-time, but here's the interesting part, if it hasn't gotten interesting already, where all events, past, present, and future, coexist as an encoded information, aka time travel, because this process actually puts you in an outer body experience where you're not experiencing time as linear, but any and everywhere all at once. Also, it says the universe functions like a binary computer, which brings us to simulation theory. And remember Elon said, we live in a simulation? Well, he just tweeted this. Most politicians are just actors on a stage. You don't see the script writers, directors, and producers who control them, aka programmers or people who control this type of technology, who can see through time, different timelines, different scenarios, outcomes, etc. Now, we're just starting to scratch the surface because a project linked to the Gateway Process is this project, Project Stargate, which they had psychic agents and remote viewers that can review different parts of the Earth, off-world locations, and even different timelines through astral projection. Now, they said they needed these types of people with these special abilities to link these projects together to make it possible. They also had Project Pegasus, where they took kids and sent them back in time, so they allegedly had this kid go to the Gettysburg Address, and Project Looking Glass, where they can review multiple timelines. Wait, hold up, now question. If Charlie Kirk was a time traveler and had agents around him, which he could have easily been a part of Project Pegasus, wouldn't she constitute as an agent, being that she's in this documentary called Black Start, where she's talking about EMPs? Yeah, electric magnetic pulses, alongside former CIA director James Woosley. I mean, at this point, she really reminds me of the wife in The Truman Show. And people always ask, why would they disclose anything? Well, that's because of the Freedom of Information Act, and through federal law, legally, they have to be transparent with us. Now, I can go on and on, but make sure you guys hit up my YouTube, The Maverick Approach, and let me know what you guys think about all this down below.
It's like you missed it. It's like you all missed it. So can somebody tell me, how did Denmark end up owning Greenland? Now this don't make no sense. What gives you the right to own Greenland? You're not even from there, and you've got your own country. Greenland belongs to these man. So I don't know what you're talking about, brother. These are the indigenous people of Greenland, not America and not Denmark. They used to teach us in school about the Eskimo, but they never told us where we was from. These men are from Greenland, brother. The natives are saying that it's their country. Greenland belongs to the Greenlandic people, but these men have been committing murder and genocide for so long, they're not even hiding it again. So basically what I'm trying to say is everybody is thinking about Donald. Everyone's thinking about Putin and thinking about wars, but who are really thinking about the Greenlandic people, the natives? They've been going into people's countries and committing genocide and slavery since the beginning of time.
President Trump is mentioned more than 1,000 times in the newly released documents, reflecting a long-standing social and business connection between the two men. Previous document releases indicated Trump was listed as a passenger on Epstein's jet 8 times between 1993 and 1998. And now, the newly released documents include uncorroborated claims about Donald Trump. The White House, responding to the Miami Herald, referred to a statement on the DOJ website denying any credibility in the accusations against the president. Several other high-profile men are in the documents, including Peter Thiel, who in one of several emails was revealed to write, "That was fun. See you in 3 weeks." The context of the email exchange is unclear. Bill Gates shows up in an email written by Epstein, where Epstein claims Gates contracted an STD from a, quote, Russian girl and sought antibiotics to hide it from his wife. A spokesperson for Gates called the claims absurd and completely false. Contrary to what he said publicly, New York real estate mogul Andrew Farkas co-owned a marina with Epstein, located near Epstein's Island, and the two exchanged affectionate and crude emails. The documents reveal Farkas himself also stayed on Epstein's private island. Another revelation? Farkas gave Epstein discounts on dockage and services at the marina, which served as a gateway to what's known as Epstein's so-called Rape Island. Billionaire Richard Branson shows up in the files too, hosting Epstein twice and exchanging friendly emails in 2013, joking about Epstein's harem and giving him advice about rehabilitating his image after Epstein's sex offender conviction. New York Giants co-owner Steve Tisch shows up hundreds of times in this latest tranche of Epstein-related files, mostly in 2013 emails where Epstein is proposing women for Tisch to meet, sending photos and bios. In one exchange, Tisch asks if a woman he met at Epstein's home is a, quote, working girl, and Epstein replies, NWVER. Then asks for Tisch's phone number, saying he doesn't like, quote, records of these conversations. Later, Epstein tells Tisch, you did well, and that the woman wants to see a play, but is freaked out about his age. In a statement, Tisch wrote in part that he did not take Epstein up on any of his invitations and never went to his island. The UK's Prince Andrew is shown in never-before-seen photos on a floor on all fours with an unidentified female, along with more exchanges with Epstein, arranging dinners and offering meetings with women. And another where Andrew invites Epstein to come here to BP, referring to Buckingham Palace. Many men whose names are in the documents had publicly and vehemently distanced themselves from the predator, but who are shown to have had seemingly friendly contact with Epstein. That includes a number of men in Donald Trump's orbit and his administration. Elon Musk had said in 2019 that Epstein tried repeatedly to get me to visit his island. I declined. Yet, according to the newly released emails from 2012, he asked, "Are you coming by helicopter?" Probably just Tallulah and me. What day/night will be the wildest party on your island? Musk has denied attending that party, nor ever visiting the island. Trump's Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick in 2025 publicly described Epstein as gross and the greatest blackmailer ever, and that he had resolved years earlier never to be in the same room with him again, suggesting he had cut ties with Epstein. But according to the newly released documents, Lutnick arranged and carried out a private lunch with Epstein and his family on Epstein's private island. And Trump's newly nominated pick for chair of the Federal Reserve appears to have been invited to one of Epstein's social events. We do not know if he attended. One other notable, the director of the newly released documentary Melania, Brett Ratner, appears in the newly released documents, including this photo of Ratner on a couch next to Jeffrey Epstein, with Ratner's arm around an unidentified female, and Epstein sitting shoulder to shoulder with another female, both of their faces obscured. Multiple media outlets have reached out to Brett Ratner, who apparently you would think, you don't know, but you would think would be kind of on a media tour because of this Melania movie. No comment there.
I'm gonna tell you why the United States needs Greenland. Oh, you son of a bitch. Trump is saying that they're gonna get Greenland one way or the other. Now, if you're from the Caribbean or from Africa, you know what this means. And to tell you the truth, Trump, he ain't doing nothing than what his forefathers would have done. Because remember, America is built upon stolen land by people who were stolen from their land. Don't ever forget that.
I just found this in the Epstein files. It appears to be a very young child dressed as a sailor. The videos just keep getting worse and worse, and they keep covering up more and more.
Remember y'all was calling conspiracy theories crazy when we was right the whole time? Now your ass is mad about the Epstein files is coming out because you have a veneration and a credence for your favorite world leader, celebrity, and politician. So what you gotta understand is that the great majority of these people are devils who practice Canaanite culture. So when it comes to conspiracy theories, we read patterns and we read energy. So we're not crazy, we were just early. See, we're in the age of information, so the truth is gonna come out regardless. And for the people who are stuck in religion, one thing you got to understand about the political apparatus, the Antichrist that you speak about in your Bible is not going to be somebody who works at fucking McDonald's. It's going to be somebody who has political or celebrity influence. So why should you put your trust in these people? That doesn't even make sense. That's like multiplying any number by zero. At this moment of time, if you don't understand what's going on, I can't explain nothing more advanced than the weather to you. Because when you go to Job chapter 9, verse 24, it says that the world be given to the hands of the wicked. And who is the wicked? The people who control religion, the people who control politics, and the people who control Hollywood. So why are you surprised about the Epstein files? You move different when you know the truth. So when it comes to the chosen ones, we don't argue with people who are asleep. We just move in silence as the world collapses. So at this moment of time, if you're still showing credence and veneration to these politicians, celebrities, and these pastors, you're just retarded.
Is your money dirty money?
If you live,
I just asked a question. Is your money dirty money? No, it's not. So, in fact...
Why is it not dirty money?
Because I earned it. A heart...
But you earned it...
I earned it legally.
We went back to this before. You earned
Yes.
it. You earned it advising the worst people in the world, right, that do enormous bad things, and just to make more money. You're a mathematician. We walked into that clinic where they're giving that money out to these people that are in the most dire straits of poverty and sickness, and told them that the money was coming from class 3 sexual predator?
Tier 1.
What's tier 1's the highest and worst?
No, I'm
the lowest.
I'm the lowest.
You're
yes.
the lowest. Okay, tier 1, you're the lowest. But a criminal.
Yes.
That the money came from them. What percentage of people do you estimate? I understand you don't like probabilities. Do you estimate would say, I don't care, I want the money for my children?
I would say everyone said, I want the money for my children.
Did they know where the money came from?
I think if you told them,
if
I told them the
100%.
devil
himself.
The devil himself said, I'm going to exchange some dollars for your child's life.
Do you think you're the devil himself?
No, but I do have a good mirror.
It's a serious question.
Sorry.
Do you think you're the devil himself?
I don't know. Why would you say that?
Because you have all the attributes. You're incredibly smart. You remember, the devil is somebody
the devil
knows.
Smart?